In this video, I will be discussing about measures of central tendency of group data. This is part 3 of the tutorial and we are going to focus only about mode of group data. To calculate the mode of group data, the formula can be used. The symbol LBMO is the lower boundary of the model class. D sub 1 is the difference between the frequencies of the model class and the next lower class. D sub 2 is the difference between the frequencies of the model class and next upper class. And small letter I is the class interval. Let us take this example. Calculate the mode of the 4th periodical test course of grade 7 Narnia students in mathematics. These are the scores of students that group by interval. And these are the frequency of each class. Before we are going to deal with the problem, I want you to remember this. The model class is the class with the highest frequency. Again, the model class is the class with the highest frequency. In order to calculate the mode, we are going to complete first the frequency table by obtaining the lower boundary of each class. What are we going to do is subtract 0.5 from the lower limit. And again, this side is the lower limit. Let us start with 46. 46 minus 0.5 is 45.5. Therefore, the lower boundary of a class 46 to 50 is 45.5. Next is 41. 41 minus 0.5 is 40.5. Therefore, the lower boundary of a class 41 to 45 is 40.5. Now it's your turn. What is the lower boundary of a class 36 to 40? Yes, awesome. It's 35.5. Next is 31 to 35. Yes, awesome. It's 30.5. And lastly is 26 to 30. Yes, awesome. It's 25.5. Again, that is how you are going to obtain the lower boundary of each class. After completing the table, we are going to determine the model class. If you could still remember that the model class is the class with the highest frequency. In this example, the class with the highest frequency is 31 to 35, which is 7. Therefore, this row is the model class, meaning the computed mode falls within a class 31 to 35. From here, we can now obtain all the values of the unknown variables in the formula. The lower boundary of the model class is 30.5. The difference between the frequencies of the model class, which is 7, and the next lower class, which is 4, is equal to 3. The difference between the frequencies of the model class, which is 7, and next upper class, which is 5, is equal to 2. In obtaining the class interval, just count starting from the lower limit going to the upper limit. For example, 26 to 30. Let's count 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So the interval is 5. Or you can subtract the upper limit by the lower limit and add 1 to the result. For example, 30 minus 26 is 4. Then 4 plus 1 is 5. So it's up to you what method you are going to use. Using these values, we can now calculate the mode by substituting the values to the formula. LBMO is 30.5, D sub 1 is 3, then D sub 1 again is 3, D sub 2 is 2, and the interval is 5. Calculate first the values in the grouping symbol. So we have 3 plus 2 is 5, then 3 times 5 is 15. Then get the quotient of 15 and 5. The result is 3. And lastly, add 30.5 and 3. Then the sum is 33.5. This is now the computed mode of the group 33.5. As you can see, the computed mode falls within a class 31 to 35. Therefore, the mode of the fourth periodical test course of grade 7 Narnia in mathematics is 33.5. Alright guys, we're done with the tutorial. If there are things need to be clarified, please do not hesitate to write your questions in the comment section. Keep practicing because practice makes perfect. This is Sir Punting at your service. Goodbye!